right, what were we talking about? Oh no, we're a new topic. Here we go, new topic. Oh, that life is like a dance, right? You can say, it's like a tango, right? It could be at times like a salsa, right? Where it's like nice and quick, and you got the steps that you gotta follow. You gotta follow the rhythm, you gotta follow the people you're working with. You gotta understand what's going on around you, and you gotta adjust, right? And you gotta sometimes lead. In the salsa classes, right? It taught me about the leads and the follows. You gotta be able to lead other people, show them the right way, push them to achieving the things that either you want, they want, or both of you want. And also, you want to know how to follow. You want to know, how to take direction, how to be, coached, right? How to take advice from people, criticism, haters, everything, right? And you can even say with haters, you got to be more of a leader, because you got to, stand your ground, know who you are, and lead your own life, know who you are, and stay in the direction that you're going. But with this sense of that, you want to be able to follow. You want to be able, to see the good in others, see what they're doing, see how they're achieving the things that they are, right? It didn't happen by accident. Not everybody was born with everything that they have. They employed a certain set of steps and got a certain skill set, to get into the positions that they are in today, and to enjoy, things that they are enjoying, right? The nice cars, the nice houses, the world-changing, projects that they're working on, and so forth. They, had to work on that, and a lot of them had to know what it's like to follow, right? To follow instruction, because they didn't start at the top always. They didn't start as a head honcho, right? On top of their project, calling the shots and having the experience that it takes to do that. And I'll say this, like, you also need experience to know, how to follow, right? It's not just, from the leader's perspective, you got to know your stuff, but as a follower, you got to know how to listen. You got to know, how to understand, how people are behaving around you, and you got to, figure out what's good, what's bad, for yourself, because, oftentimes you might have bad leaders, right? Or bad people in charge, and you gotta, in essence, know, and you can even say this is leading in your own fashion, but, follow smartly, just like you would lead smartly, right? Everyone knows it happens, if you don't lead things the right way, or in a quote-unquote dumb way, right? They fall apart. The business falls, to ashes, goes out of business, you name it, right? And it can be the smallest mistake, but if you're messing up, on a routine basis, and the company, business, whatever, you have underneath you, that thing's gonna fall apart. And what can help you to is having a system of followers, of great followers, people that understand you, that know you well, that know your little quirks and your, what makes you happy, what makes you smile, what you hate, the way you like things being done, because everybody's different, right? What makes a great leader over here in Florida might be different from someone, over in Washington, right? Or different places that you go to, because, those environments may require different standards or have a potential to influence their people at a different rate. And that's another talk within itself, but, understanding that dance or that balance between leading and following, right? Because when it's working together, when it's a cohesive unit, it looks amazing, right? You'll see, if you go on YouTube and you look at these national salsa performances and you see these people, who are amazingly trained, right? And they're not both trained to be leaders in their own perspectives, right? Although a lot know how to do both roles, a lot know each state of mind, and that's good, right? You want to be aware of what it takes to be the other person, but you got to be good, at leading if you're a leader, and you got to be good at following if you're a follower. So when they come together and they dance and they perform, magic happens, right? Because if you're leading and you're leading alone, it might look kind of strange, right? And that's why a lot of people even say, like, I can't practice dancing salsa alone, right? That's why a lot of people go out, to these salsa classes, so they can come across, people that they can practice with. If you're a lead, you're looking for a follow. If you're a follow, you're looking for a lead. You need that connection. And if you simply wander about life alone and expecting, everything to fall at your feet, right? Just for you, because you're a special whatever person, you name it, it's not just going to be granted to you. I hate to break it to you, but that's the way it is. And you got to work with it. I say life isn't fair at times. And I'll agree with that, man. Like, wherever you come from, whatever circumstances you come from, they're going to be different. And, although people may say that that's not fair and things should be done about that, right? You can argue, change needs to be made for that. But, what are you going to do right now about that? Because you got to deal with it, right? You got to, the bills have to be paid, right? You got work that you got to do. So why, sit there alone, or whatever position, you are, right? Feeling pity, feeling sorrow for yourself, feeling like someone, who got the, I don't know what it's called, but I think it's small end of the stick, right? And that's gonna happen, right? Everyone's tossed a broomstick, and the size of that broomstick varies from person to person, but regardless, you still have a broomstick in your hands, and you got to use it, because if you don't, that broomstick will go to waste, and that broomstick isn't there forever, and you got to use it, while you're here and able to. So, don't complain. Be thankful for your broomstick. Be thankful that it's the size it is, that it has, whatever material it's made of, wood, whatever, to make it the best broom ever. Whoa. Yeah, so you might have seen that instance, right, of that car honking at that person, right? And you saw that, right? They were in essence dealt a broomstick. They were in essence dealt a situation, that they decided to act how they did. And you can replace a broomstick with the car in this case, because you have, they were dealt the car, they have it there. And another broomstick came into the picture and, honked at them and freaked out and oh my God, like, but, that person is still, with the fate of using their car, right? They still have to use it. They're dealt those circumstances, and it's about, how they push forward from that, right? How they deal with the further instances that they have to use that. So with that, understand, what you have at your disposal, right? Don't waste it. Don't let other people's, judgments of you or anything, infect that. So let's see. Oh, we just made it. Look at that, we made it. So yeah, man, whatever situation, and you can even chalk this down to cards, right? Everyone's, dealt a hand of cards, like poker. And it's not about, which cards you get dealt with, right? Because everyone has their cards. And there's nothing you can do about that, right? All you can do from that point forward is work with them. Understand the best way to play, with the hands that you were dealt. For some it can be your height, right? Some it could be your facial features, your ability to put on weight or take off weight. And You know, it's not to say, you know, it'd be foolish to say that some people are more advantaged or disadvantaged than others, but what they have to come to terms with, you know, is how their body works, how their mind works, you know, how big they are, how strong they are, and work with that and become the best version of themselves, you know, whatever sense it may be, and come to an understanding of that. And we see our buddy over here. So let's see. I see you, bro. I know. You made me drop him, man. Go on. Yeah, I was blaming my friend for making me drop the balls, but it's all good. So what were we saying? Yeah, man, like, don't complain. Like, some of you are born shorter than others. Some of you are born like too tall, and people complain about that, believe it or not. You know, some people, you know, especially on the shorter end, you know, want to be like 7 foot tall. And I always wondered, like, oh my God, I want to be a giant, right? Life is so easy. You know, I might easily make it to the NBA or whatever. But what you might realize is that everything in life has its pros and its cons. It has its ups and its downs, more like upsides and downsides. And you gotta understand what they are, and you gotta work with them, and you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta go to training, you gotta work with people, and come to an understanding, you know, to tackle them the best way possible, yeah, and make your way through life and enjoy it, right? And that's not to say that you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't be so focused on, you know, how am I gonna get bigger muscles, right? I want to get bigger muscles. I'm only this tall, so I want to get big, right? Or I'm this big and I want to lose weight. But enjoy yourself. You know, don't get lost, you know, in the fray, or, you know, the motions of working, because, you know, it should be fun to you. It should be something you look forward to every day, right? It shouldn't be a nuisance, although, you know, it can be, you know, and it's supposed to be, because it's not supposed to be easy. It's work within itself. But for you, you gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay with going through the struggle, because, you know, that's what it's there for. All right, so what's up, guys? So we just finished our run out here, and we're gonna do a little bit of sprints, right? Because there's so many people out here. It's full of life, and it's not to say that's bad. It's a nice thing, but we got business to take care of, and we hope you guys enjoy. So here we go. So here's one sprint. Ready? And when you start off on warm-ups, you know, you don't want to go all the way, but you want to go, you know, in this case, you sprints, you want to do 60-70%. You don't want to do the whole thing, but you don't want to burn yourself out, you know, especially if you're doing it after a run, right after, you know, a complete exertion, you know, which is what you want to do when you're running, right? When you're combining two separate acts, right? You have, you know, a complete jogging workout, and now all of a sudden, if you're a crazy person like me, you want to do, you know, sprints as well. You want to add to that, and with that, might burn you out if you don't take it easy. So let's see.